All right, welcome in live, everybody, here from Tinsley Sports Complex here in Bossier City, Louisiana, for the 2024 DYB Division II 3A Championship Series between Georgia and Florida. Georgia coming out of Schley County, Georgia. Florida coming from Avon Park.
First up for Georgia, with 13, Braxton Gordon.
We're going to start with Georgia at bat with Braxton Gordon, number 13. He will be playing shortstop today for Georgia. Hitter's going to take a little bit of time to tie his shoe. Kind of give you a breakdown of how we've got here. Georgia's 5-0 coming into this game. Florida 3-1. Florida's only loss coming to Georgia earlier on Sunday, and an 8-0 win for Georgia. First pitch comes in for a strike. Wendell Berry, the pitcher for Florida today. Second pitch, hit back up the middle. Got to get through the gap. That's going to be a leadoff single for Georgia.
How about Kevin Jacobs?
Batting second for Georgia will be Kevin Jacobs, number 11, playing first base. Sees the first pitch for the strike again. 3 strikes thrown so far by Wendell Berry. Second pitch just gets past the shortstop's glove. Going to allow both runners to advance safely. So now we have runners on both first and second. And that'll bring up the 3-hole Jack Duff, who is your pitcher today for Georgia, number 21. Jack sees that first pitch low for a ball. Number 53, Flint Melton, will be on deck for Georgia. That pitch popped into right field. Got to be caught. Not going to allow any runners to advance, and that'll be the first out of the first inning for Florida. Now Flint Melton, the catcher, for Georgia. Starting battery, back to back, excuse me, for Georgia. This one popped up, going to go out of play of the first base line. Be strike one. Second pitch, going to come in just a tad high, makes the count even at 1. Completing the rest of the lineup for Georgia will be Camden Hughes, Blake Bass, Gage McCorkle, Charlie Calhoun, Tilden Hagerson, Jake Leiter. As Melton sees that second pitch and fouls it off for a strike, makes the count 1 and 2. Jace Rogers and Connor Manucci will finish out the lineup for Georgia. Fourth pitch of the at-bat. Going to come in, get away from the catcher, and will allow both runners to advance to second and third. So now we have a 2-2 count. Both runners in scoring position here in the top of the first for Georgia. Pitcher gets set. Comes in, ball's going to come in low, makes it a full count for Flint Melton. Most pitches we've seen in that bat so far from Wendell Berry. And big swing and a miss from Flint. Brings up the strikeout. First strikeout for Wendell Berry. And now we have Camden Hughes, number 9, for Georgia coming in. Is not a starter in the field just yet, but we'll see some time later in the game. First pitch he sees outside for a ball. Have an errant foul ball coming in from field 9 as they're completing the Ozone series over there. You can catch that game between South Carolina and Georgia over there, also on the DYB page. Second pitch of the at-bat. Sees that ball just outside. Wynn tried to hit that top outside corner for a strike. Just missed. Third pitch, gonna get popped up, gonna be a little blooper over the third baseman's head. It's gonna allow a run in. Might have two, and we will, and that'll be a 2-run RBI double for Camden Hughes, and Georgia strikes first.
Now batting number 22, Blake Bass.
So number 22, Blake Bass, the second baseman for Georgia, going to come into the box now. Runner still in scoring position for Georgia. First pitch comes in high for a ball. Strike zone is going to be a little different for Bass, as he is a little bit smaller of a frame than his teammates. That pitch comes inside for a ball, makes it 2-0. Third pitch just hits that outside corner for a strike, makes it 2-1. Gage McCorkle, number 5, the center fielder for today's game in the on-deck circle. Ball hit right into center field. Gonna hold the runner at third, though, and so that'll put runners on the corners. Still 2 outs, another 2-out hit for Georgia.
Now batting number 5, Gage McCorkle.
And so Gage McCorkle now up. Runner moves up closer. Has a chance to extend the Georgia lead here in this first inning. Ball's going to get away from the catcher. Not going to see the runner advance from third. We'll see the runner advance from first over to second. So now 2 runners in scoring position for Georgia. Charlie Calhoun, the on-deck man. As McCorkle sees the second pitch for a strike, makes it 1-1. Third pitch comes in, pretty pitch for a strike, makes it a 1-2 count. 1-2, 2 outs, 22 pitches thrown by O'Berry in this inning. Pitch comes in outside, makes it 2-2. Camden Hughes at third. Blake Bass over at second. Pitch swings up high, going to be popped out of play. So we'll keep the count 2-2. Everybody goes back to where they were. One's flag's blowing straight out to right field. That ball hit straight back up the middle. Got to bring in another run. Going to see maybe another one come in too. And we will, and that's another 2-run hit for Georgia. And that'll make it 4-0 after that 2-run RBI single.
Charlie Calhoun.
So Charlie Calhoun now up to bat. Sees the first pitch as a ball.
26.
Second pitch of the at bat. Gonna hit up down the right field line. Gonna be just foul. So now the count is 1-1. O'Berry sets up for the third pitch of the at-bat. That one down the middle. 1-2 again. Another 2-out count now for O'Berry, looking to get himself out of this. That one gets away from the catcher again, going to allow the runner to advance to second on that wild pitch. So now McCorkle over at second base. Calhoun at the plate. Hagerson on deck. That one just hits the outside corner for strike 3. And that'll end at the top of the first, not before Georgia puts up 4 runs. We will be back for the bottom of the first as we will look to see Florida, see if they can answer right after this. All right, we're back. Division II AAA Championship Series here between Georgia and Florida. Georgia with the win here takes home the championship trophy. Florida wins. Today we will have a second game tomorrow at 9 o'clock here at the same field. And so Florida trying to stay alive. Georgia looking to end things here. Florida got some work to do after allowing 4 runs there in that first inning. We'll see Kellen Jackson, Duke Galimba, Tristan Basulto, Wynn O'Berry, Cody McIntyre, Jacob Garcia, Mason Lee, David Cruz, Jake Pritchett, Liam Wilson, and Cesar Lopez as your starting lineup for Florida. Starting pitcher Jack Duff, the guy for Georgia on the mound today. First pitch sails outside for a ball. Kellen Jackson, Duke Galimba, and Tristan Basulto, the 1, 2, 3 guys here for Florida in this inning. Big swing and a miss from Kellen. Makes it a 1-1 count. Starting battery, Jack Duff, Flint Melton. Kevin Jacobs over at first. Blake Bass at second. Pitch in. Got to be a little pop fly over to the second baseman, and that will record the first out of the bottom half of this first inning. Over at third, Georgia has Charlie Calhoun, shortstop Braxton Gordon, left field Tilden Hagerson, Gage McCorkle in center, and Connor Manucci there in right. First pitch gets past the shortstop, and that'll be the first hit of the ball game for Florida. Now with a runner on first after that single from Duke Galimba. Tristan Basulto now steps in the box for Florida. First pitch just outside. Makes it a 1-0 count. Second pitch. Comes in, hits the bottom of the zone, makes it a 1-1 count. Jack Duff working quick here for Georgia. That second pitch spikes it a little bit, but catcher Flint Melton there to stop it. That pitch just high, maybe a little outside. Makes it 3-1. Fifth pitch of the at-bat. It's a little swing and a miss out of it, makes it a full count. Full count now, 1 out. Runner over there at first. And another big swing and a miss. Retires Tristan Basulto. Now we'll see a little pitching matchup between Wynn O'Berry and Jack Duff. Winterberry recorded 2 strikeouts last inning. Pretty breaking ball. Drops in there in the zone for a strike. 0-1 the count now. Jack Duff hits that one outside. Makes it 1-1. That one popped into right field, gonna get down. Right fielder's gonna have a little bit of trouble with it, gonna allow the runner to get over to third. Now we're gonna have runners on the corners for Florida. Big 2-out hit there from Winnow Brady. And so now we'll see Cody McIntyre step into the box for Florida, looking to knock in an RBI and put his Florida team on the board as they look to rally down 4 here in the bottom of the first. That one hits the bottom part of the zone. See O'Berry trying to mess with the catcher a little bit, try to throw him off. We're going to see a pinch runner come in for the pitcher O'Berry. And it will be Tristan Basulto come in. That one called strike. Gonna get a throw down over to second, and he will be out. And so the inning will be on a throw down over to second by catcher Flint Melton. And that's how we'll end the first. We'll be back for the top of the second as we see Georgia come back up to bat right after this. All right, we're seeing a new arm on the mound for Florida. We will see Cody McIntyre take the bump as they look to get some relief. Seeing if they can help out anyway as we start this top of the second inning. Only 15 pitches thrown by Jack Duff that last inning as it ended with a spectacular throwdown from Flint Melton over to second base to get the runner out. First pitch hit over to third. Makes the throw across the diamond for the first out, and so that'll be one down. One pitch, one out already for Cody McIntyre as the reliever for this team.
And now hitting number 1, Jake Leitner.
So Jake Leitner, first pitch as well. Hits right into the gap to the left fielder, and so 1 out single for Leitner. So Jace Rogers now steps into the box for Georgia. Sees the first pitch for a strike. 3 pitches, 3 strikes so far for McIntyre. That one comes in behind him, makes it 1-1. Rogers in the box now. Manucci up next, big swing and a miss there from Rogers. And after Connor, we'll see Georgia return to the top of the order with Braxton Gordon. That one, little chopper over to third. Gonna try and go to second. Not in time, foot comes off the bag, it appears. And so we've got both runners safe at first and second. 1 out. Number 25, Connor, up to bat. That one comes in high for a ball. Leitner trying to get the catcher moving. That one, got to be a little bit of pop-up, not going to be able to catch it. They're going to go over to second, though, for 1 out. So we're going to have runners on the corners now, 2 outs.
Now batting, number 13,
After
Braxton Gordon.
Jackson wasn't able to get there in time to record the pop fly out. Instead, gets the easy out over there at second. It's a 2 down. As we return to the top of the order with Braxton Gordon, going to get the runner moving over to second, and so that will be a steal and a 1-0 count for Gordon. That one just hits the inside edge of the strike zone. So now a 1-1 count for Braxton. Both runners in scoring position. Hits that one straight into the outfield. Gonna get 1 run coming across. And that'll be it. As we have runners on the corners again this time after that RBI single. That'll bring our score to 5-0 for Georgia. And now Kevin Jacobs steps into the box. That one, first pitch, right back to the second baseman. He'll make the play over to first, and that'll be the end of the inning. Only 1 run comes across for Georgia. And now Florida will come and look to make an answer here in this bottom half of the second. All right, we're back, bottom of the second. Couple changes for Georgia. We'll see Jake Leitner take right field and Jace Rogers take left field here in the second. First batter up for Florida will be Cody McIntyre, as he didn't get to finish his bat after the throw out from Flint Melton. That one, first pitch, back up the middle to the pitcher. And 1 pitch, 1 out. Quick start for Jack Duff. Now number 28, we'll see Jacob Garcia step up to the plate.
Garcia.
Jacob playing catcher for Florida. Looks back at the umpire and gets the strike call. Second pitch, Jack working quick. Rears back, that one's going to be called a ball. So now a 1-1 count to Garcia. We'll see Mason Lee on deck for Florida. Third pitch, big swing and a miss for Jacob. And so now 1-2 count, 1 out. As Jack gets set, gets ready for the pitch. Already knows what he wants to throw. And a big swing and a miss at the top of the zone. Records the second out for Jack Duff and this Georgia team. And now we see Mason Lee step into the box for this Florida team. He takes a big swing at the first pitch. David Cruz, the on-deck man. Second pitch. That one hits the outside edge for a strike. 0-2 the count. Third pitch, that one lined out into left field. And so a big 2-out single here for Florida. And so they're going to look to rally back from this one. So now 2 outs. David Cruz, number 99, steps into the box. Playing first base. He takes a big swing and miss at the first pitch. Second pitch. Catcher tries to frame it. Hit that top outside corner. Not able to get it, so it's now 1-1. The third pitch falls into the zone, makes it a 1-2 count. 2 outs now for Georgia. Duff gets set. The pitch just a little bit high in that zones, and Duff really wanted that strike call there. Hoping to get the strikeout. That pitch does get him to fan though, and he's going to walk off with a strikeout as they look to bat here in this top of this third. And we'll be right back after this. All right, back here in the top of the third, live from Bossier City, 2024 DYB World Series for the AAA Championship Series between Georgia and Florida. We are currently in a 5-minute hydration break. Want to ensure the safety of both players playing today. We in our earlier game, we had a umpire measuring the temperature on the field, and it was over 130 degrees out there, and so definitely want to make sure that these kids are safe and taking the proper precautions to make sure that they are hydrated. And so while we're waiting on that, kind of give a little brief update of kind of how we've got here. Both of these teams started their play Thursday in pool play and then started bracket play on Friday. Georgia beginning with Arkansas, winning that game and then moving on to Texas. Whereas Florida played the host team and then moved on to play the Louisiana team. Georgia would then play South Carolina in a game on Saturday as well, where Florida advanced to Sunday. Then they met on Sunday, where Georgia would win that game 8-0. So Florida would move down to the losers bracket and play Monday. Georgia played earlier today and won 6-0 against Tennessee. Florida won 4-3 against South Carolina in walk-off fashion. And so that's how both of these teams have met here right now. Georgia 5-0, Florida 3-1. Both looking to win their respective championship here in 3A World Series. And so Georgia needs to win this game to be crowned champions. Florida needs to win today, and if they win today, they will play tomorrow at 9 a.m. here at the same field. And so both of those teams trying to make it happen.
You cannot go back to the field.
So now our 5-minute hydration break is over. We will see Florida warm up, and then we will see Georgia come back up to bat. We will see McIntyre take back over on the bump for this Georgia team out of Schley County. Coaches Will Gordon, Gabe Jacobs, and Lee Hughes for Georgia. TJ McIntyre, Marcus Garcia, and LT Galimba for Avon Park, Florida. So this is the AAA World Series that you're watching right now. So far we've had all the coverage of the O-Zone World Series, and so we're giving you this coverage of the championship game and kind of explain the difference between the two. With AAA, they are a younger age, as well as the field is a little bit smaller and more compact as far as the base paths go. They get moved in as far as the bases and the mound. And so a little bit smaller playing surface. Don't see as many, there's not pickoffs, or leadoffs. And so now we'll see Jack Duff, starting pitcher for Georgia, step into the box for Georgia. So top of the third. That first pitch sails into center field. And so we're going to have a leadoff single for Georgia. And that'll bring up his battery, Flint Melton, catcher number 53. Georgia rocking the old school Braves uniforms. Florida in the white and red. Flint swings at that first pitch for a strike. Second pitch going to come inside, makes it 1-1. Third pitch also going to come inside, makes it 2-1. Ball get past the catcher. And so now we will see the runner advance over to second now. 2-1 count for Flint Melton, Jack Duff in scoring position, no outs. And Georgia looking to extend their lead. That pitch drops into the zone off of a Purdy breaking ball, makes it a 2-2 count. Third pitch going to get away from him as well. Going to see Jack head over to third, and he will be safe. And so now, full count Runner at third for Flint Melton. Camden Hughes on deck. And that one's going to be fouled out back behind us. Full count, no outs. Runner on third. Flint Melton up to bat. This one going to be fouled out on the right side. Count will remain the same. All right, so we'll reset. Pitch from McIntyre is going to come behind Melton, and so he will advance on balls. And so now we have runners on the corner. And Camden Hughes, now the batter for Georgia. Cody McIntyre is still the pitcher for Florida. That one, little Baltimore bounce over to the second baseman. They're going to tag the second and get the out there, but not before the run comes in. And so now it is a 6-0 ball game with one out as the runner advances, or excuse me, the batter gets on with a fielder's choice. First pitch comes in for a ball to Blake Bass. Second pitch, he's going to bounce over to the second baseman. He's going to come over to second base to get the first out for a fielder's choice. And so now 2 down with the runner over on first. And it'll be Gage McCorkle, the center fielder, come up to bat next. And so now Florida is going to come out and talk to the field coach. And quick conversation. And so now everybody will head back to their respective spots. I want to make sure there was no runner's interference. First pitch can be fouled off by McCorkle. So leadoff hit, a couple of fielder's choices. Now a pass ball. It's going to allow Bass to get over to second. And so now here we are, 6-0. Georgia, top of the third, runner on second, 1-1 count, 2 outs. That one going to come over to the shortstop. He's going to throw over to first and get the out, and that'll retire the side. 1 run comes across for Georgia. Florida will look to answer here in this bottom half of the third. We'll be right back after this. All right, we're back. Some more fielding changes for Georgia. We'll see number 17, Tilden Hagerson, come into left field. And we'll see number 9, Camden Hughes, head into right for Florida. First up, we got Jake Pritchett up to bat. It'll be Pritchett, Liam Wilson, and Cesar Lopez. That'll be due up in this bottom half of the third, and then after them we will return to the top of the order with number 21, Kellen Jackson. Ooh. First pitch. Fastball comes in, is going to hit Jake Pritchett, and so one pitch, and the batter is on after that hit by pitch. And now we'll see Liam Wilson, the right fielder, come up for Florida. First pitch, strike for Jack Duff. Duff thrown 30 pitches so far through 2 innings. Second pitch gets him to Fan. Little back pick over there to first. Gonna be called safe. Just gets back in time. And so now we're 0-2 to Liam Wilson. Flint Melton making his name known here in this game. That pitch comes inside, makes it 1-2. Melton already with that throw down over to second, trying to get the pick off there over at first. That one bounces up, but again, Melton, right, stop it right there. Keep the runners from advancing. This one popped out of play, so the count will remain at 2 apiece. Runner remains at first. And Jake Pritchett. Cesar Lopez on deck. Big swing and a miss. Records the first out of the inning. And add another strikeout to Jack Duff's total.
Georgia's pitchers now at 35 pitches.
Number 3, Cesar Lopez, up to bat, playing first base today. That pitch comes in high for a ball. So now 1-0 the count. Runner on first, 1 out. That pitch gets him to swing and miss. Runner at first kind of toying with Flint Melton, asking him to throw it over there. I don't know if he wants that. This one tries to frame it to the bottom of the zone. Doesn't get it to work. 2-1 count now for Cesar Lopez. Kellen Jackson on deck. Top of the lineup for this Florida team. That one sails inside, makes it 3-1. And big. Swing and a miss now at 40 pitches is Jack Duff. Have to imagine that Georgia will leave him in as it's a championship game. Looking to close it out with his guy, and he gets another strikeout right there. And so now that's 2 down for Jack Duff. In the sending off of strikeouts after hitting the first batter. So Kellen Jackson now up to bat. Sees the first pitch for a ball. Duff sets up for the second pitch. Ooh, that one's going to hit him in the head. And so he'll head on over to first. And Jack Duff now in kind of his first problem that he's seen all game, with runner in scoring position after 2 hit by pitches this inning. So now we're on bottom of the third. Runner on first and second. And it brings up Duke Galimba for this Florida team. All righties on this Florida team. This one going to hit right to the shortstop. He's going to make the easy play over to second. They're going to get him in time, and that's going to record the third out of this inning. We're heading to the top of the fourth. Georgia ahead, 6-0. Duff gets himself out of a little bit of a jam. We'll be back for the top of the fourth right after this. All right, we're back. Top of the fourth. Charlie Calhoun will be the leadoff man for this Georgia squad. Now looking to put up some more runs, make the lead insurmountable for this Florida team. For the guys up now for Georgia, it'll be Charlie Calhoun, Tilden Hagerson, and Jack Leitner. The man's up. First pitch. Going to come over to the third baseman. Makes the throw across the diamond, and he'll get him in time for the first out. One pitch, one out for this Florida team and Cody McIntyre. McIntyre's come in so far, only giving up 2 runs. That pitch comes and hits the inside corner, for a strike. So now it'll be 0-1. The count to Hagerson. That one fouled back quickly, 0-2. Quick work for Cody McIntyre so far. Third pitch of the at-bat. That one. Going to be chopped down the left field line for a foul ball, and so 1-2 the count to Tilden Hagerson. Jake Leitner, the man on deck. That pitch comes inside for a ball, makes it even at 2. That pitch comes outside, makes it a full count. Pitch from McIntyre. Oh, light strikeout call by the umpire. Rings him up on a strikeout looking. So that is now 2 outs for Florida, and that'll bring up Jake Leitner. The man with 2 outs, 3rd strikeout of this game for Georgia. That one sails in behind him. Batter gets out of the way, and so just misses hitting him. Second pitch, floats it over the plate. Got to be popped up to the shortstop, though, and that'll be a 1-2-3 inning for Florida. And so now we'll head to the bottom of the fourth as they look to put on some runs. We'll be back after this. All right, bottom of the fourth, Jack Duff still on the bump for Georgia. Looking to continue his dominance so far. 30 innings, no runs allowed. So he'll come up. And he will face Tristan Basulto, Win O'Berry, and Cody McIntyre. First three up.
Now batting 12, Tristan Basulto.
First pitch to Basulto. He's going to kind of saw off, foul. So now 0-1 count for Duff. That pitch going to hit up to the shortstop. And, Basulto outruns the throw from short and gets on for a leadoff hit for Florida. That could be the start of the rally right there for Florida. First batter, it's a leadoff hit. Kind of spark being able to outrun a throw like that. So, their speed on the base pass. There's a big swing and miss there by O'Berry. Start the at bat. Second pitch. Hits that outside edge for a strike. Quick 0-2 count now to O'Berry. This one, a bouncer over to third. He's going to make the easy throw over to second, just going to get the out over there, and so it's going to be fielder's choice for O'Berry. And so now, one down now for Duff and this Georgia defense. So now we have the pitcher, Cody McIntyre, in the box for Florida. Takes a big swing and a miss over there. Throw down over to first from Flint Melton again. So now it's an 0-1 count. Runner over at first is safe. Second pitch. This one he's going to foul over to the right side to the first base coach. And so 0-2 count now to McIntyre. Looking to help himself out and putting some runs on the board for himself as he is the current pitcher for Florida. That pitch comes down. Ooh, big throw over to first, and he placed it in a perfect spot to get the runner out, but Win O'Berry just gets back in time. 1-2 count now to McIntyre. That pitch comes in by his head. Now a 2-2 count. That pitch, beautiful breaking ball, comes in right to the middle of the plate, records the second out. So now 2 down for Jacob Garcia. That pitch, another pretty breaking ball, tries to get the runner over at first again, not in time that time, and so now still an 0-1 count. Jack Duff with the pitch, gets him swinging. Quick 0-2 to Garcia. This pair of Jack Duff and Flint Melton, his battery is fun to watch. Another big swing and a miss. Gets them to strike out. And so now we'll head to the top of the 5th after a beautiful sequence
5-minute hydration break
from Jack Duff and this Georgia defense. We're going to take a hydration break, and we'll be back here in just a little while.
can now take the field. Now batting number 7, Jace Rogers.
All right, we're back from the hydration break and pitching warm up from McIntyre. And so here at the top of the 5th, Georgia still up 6-0. That'll bring up number 7, Jace Rogers, after their quick 1-2-3 inning. Last inning from Florida, that one roped down the left field line, just goes foul though. So quick 0-1 count for Rogers. Rogers squares up, ready for the pitch from McIntyre. That one gonna go into center field, or excuse me, just a pop up to the second baseman. And so that'll be a quick first out of the inning. So now we'll see Connor Medusi, the 12 hole for Georgia. That one gonna just get past the second baseman and allow him to be safe over there at first. And so 1 out hit for Connor, and we'll return to the top of the order with Braxton Gordon, the shortstop. First pitch outside for a ball. One ball, no strikes. Pitch in. This one back up to the shortstop. Gets the first out over at short. Had a little bit of trouble with it, but able to record the out for the second out. Gets that lead runner with the fielder's choice. And so now we'll see Kevin Jacobs take his trip into the box. That first pitch, a breaking ball, falls into the zone. Florida try their own little pickoff move over at first. Not able to get it though. Second pitch going to be fouled and going to go off the batter's leg. And so now an 0-2 count for him. Going to give him a little bit of time, as those are uncomfortable. Those balls coming fouled back off of your leg. So he's going to talk with his coaches a little bit, try and work that out. And see if he's going to end up being okay, or see what they need to do for him. He's going to end up walking it off. Looks like he's going to be okay. Kevin played first base this game for Georgia. And so he will return. 0-2 count. Takes a couple practice swings and steps into the box for McIntyre to deliver the pitch. That one hammered to the shortstop. Going to make the easy play over at second, but he's going to be ruled safe as he was just there in time. As now runner on first and second, 2 outs still for the pitcher, Jack Duff. Jack looking to add some more to the total and help himself out on the bump. This one going to be fouled out of play on the right field side, and so 1 strike now to Jack. This one comes inside for a ball. We're at second thought about stealing, but doesn't. 1-1 count to Duff. That one comes behind him, got to get away from the catcher. Both runners are going to advance over to second and third, and so now with a 2-1 count to Jack, both runners in scoring position, and a chance to add to this Georgia lead. This one he's going to tip and foul back, evens the count at 2. Catcher Flint Milton on deck for Georgia. The pitch going to be Hopper over to third base. Throw it across the diamond, going to be in time for the 3rd out. And so another scoreless inning for Georgia as Florida able to keep them off the board. We're going to return for the bottom of the 5th. Florida looking to make a little bit of a comeback. We'll see if they can make it happen right after this. All right, we're back, bottom of the 5th. That'll bring up Mason Lee, David Cruz, and Jake Pritchett due up for Florida in this bottom half of the 5th. First pitch from Jack, going to come outside for a ball. Jack at 58 pitches. So far, a very dominant performance, no earned runs through 4. Breaking pitch comes up high, makes it a 2-0 count for Jack. Lee, the right fielder. First pitch, first strike for Jack. Falls in there. Big swing and a miss for Mason Lee, and so now counts even at 2, just like that. After 2 consecutive strikes for Jack Duff. Breaking pitch falls out of the zone. Makes the count full for Mason Lee. David Cruz on deck. Duff gets set. Fouls it off. So Mason Lee will come back and do it again. Again, this is the ball popped up into play to Jack, and he records the out himself. 1 down. Now for this Georgia defense. This is the Division II AAA World Series Championship Series, where Georgia, with a win, takes home the championship. Florida, with a win, they will play again tomorrow at 9 a.m. and will have a chance to win the championship themselves. First pitch there by Jack was a ball. Second pitch hits that inside bottom of the zone for a strike to David Cruz. Third pitch comes in low for a ball, and so now 2-1 count to Cruz. Pritchett, the man on deck. That one fouled off, now even at 2. Big swing and a miss there by Cruz. Duff records another strikeout. And now Pritchett steps up to the plate. This one gonna be popped out foul. 0-1 count now. So 70 pitches now for Jack Duff. That pitch sails high for a ball. Now 1-1 the count to Pritchett. Liam Wilson on deck. If Pritchett's able to get there. That pitch comes low and outside. 2-1. 2-1 count, 2 outs, nobody on base. Florida trying to add some numbers to the board. 3-1 the count now. This one, big fly out over to the left fielder, and he will record the 3rd out of the inning. We're heading out to the top of the 6th, where Georgia will look to add some more runs and possibly put it into this thing. We'll be back for the top of the 6th right after this. All right, bottom of the 5th. McIntyre still on the mound for Florida. Hughes, the leadoff batter for Georgia. First pitch, a little comebacker right to the pitcher. Struggles kind of grasps the ball at first, but ends up making the out over at first. And so 1 pitch, 1 out again for McIntyre. He's done a good job of that here since he's come in relief. Again, only 2 earned runs since he's come in. 50 pitches on the board for him. So now it's Camden Hughes up to bat for Georgia. So the batter, that pitch hit his foot, but he said, no, it's okay, I want to hit. So he is staying in the box. Second pitch comes inside as well, and so now it is a 2-0 count. That first pitch hit the top of his foot, but he said he wanted to hit, so here we are. 2-0 count. That pitch, a little bouncer, going to be foul. 2-1 count now to Hughes. And so Camden Hughes get back in the box after that foul ball. Be Blake Bass, in the on-deck circle. This one, a little fly out, or excuse me, a fly ball over to the left field. Left fielder's going to have problems with it. That'll allow Hughes to get over to second. So 1 out double for Hughes. That's a runner in scoring position for Georgia. And so now Blake Bass, second baseman, will come up. That pitch just outside. Makes it a 1-0 count. Second pitch of the at-bat. Comes inside. Runner's not moving on that one. So now a 2-0 count for Bass. Third pitch comes in, hits that outside edge for a strike. 2-1 the count now to Bass. McIntyre now at 56 pitches. This ball sailing into left field is going to drop. Going to hold the runner at third. But Bass will advance to second, though. So 1 out double for Bass. Puts both runners in scoring position for Gaze McCorkle. First pitch, McCorkle sends it over the shortstop's head. 1 run comes in. The second run coming across the plate. Going to be a play at second, and he's safe. 2-run RBI double for McCorkle. Now makes it an 8-0 ball game for this Georgia team. 8-0 was the score of the last time that they played Florida. First pitch comes in for a strike. After that breaking ball from McIntyre. 0-1 the count. Second pitch comes in for a ball, makes it 1-1. So now this puts a runner in scoring position for Charlie Calhoun. That pitch comes in and over his head for a ball. 2-1 the count now. McIntyre gets set. The pitch hits that outside edge for a strike. 2-2 the count now. Two and two count. This ball fouled back. Count will stay the same. 2-2, 1 out. Runner on second. Tilden Hagerson on deck. Ooh, pretty breaking ball. Gets the runner gets the batter swinging. Not going to advance on the drop third strike. And so it'll be 2 down now. Runner on second. That pitch going to get by the catcher. Going to have a play over at third. And he will be safe. So the runner advances on the wild pitch. So now a 1-0 count for Hagerson. Runner closer in scoring position now. Looking to add another run on this ball over the first baseman's head. Gonna be a run. And it'll be an RBI single for Hagerson and this Georgia team. 9-0. Now the ball. Oh, now the score, excuse me.
Now batting, number 1, Jake Leitner.
Jake Leitner now the batter for Georgia. First pitch, Putton is a pop fly foul. right in the gap. First baseman says that he should have had it, but not able to get it. So it'll be an 0-1 count now for Leitner. Leitner been in and out of right field all game. This pitch comes in over his head to even the count at 1. As we see a plane flying in over the head of the ballpark. Air Force Base near us. That pitch comes in for a ball as well. 2-1 the count now. Two and one count, 2 outs. Runner on first for Leitner. Pitch, hammered to the third baseman. He's going to make the play across the diamond for the out, and that'll be the 3rd out. We will head to the bottom of the 6th now. Apologize for the graphic. Bottom of the 6th now would be Florida's last chance to put up some runs and try and tie this ball game or send it to a game tomorrow. We'll see if they can do it right after this. All right, bottom of the 6th here in the Division 2, AAA Majors World Series. And we're going to see a new arm on the mound. It'll be Tilden Hagerson stepping onto the mound for this Georgia team after an incredible outing from Jack Duff. He finished with 74 pitches, and so they'll move him over to shortstop and will allow the new pitcher in. And we will see Wilson, Liam Wilson step into the box.
Now batting 22, Liam Wilson.
For Florida. Quick 1-1 count now. Third pitch comes in, gonna get over the right fielder's head. We've got a leadoff single for Florida as they look to stay alive and fight here in this bottom of the 6th inning as it's their last hope.
Lopez.
So again, with a Georgia win, they are the champions. Florida wins, we play again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Bunt laid down, back to the pitcher. Going to be a play at first, ruled out, but will advance the runner over to second.
And back to the top.
And so
Jackson.
Lopez lays down the bunt to move Wilson over to second. Kalen Jackson now up to bat, top of the order. First pitch hammered to third base. He doesn't complete the catch though, but does allow the out to happen at first. And so now 2 down, 1 out away from us crowning champions here in Division II AAA. Agerson the pitch, gets him swinging and foul ball. First pitch for Duke Galimba. Ball hit into center field. Third base coach waving around. And so we're going to get 1 run in. Big RBI double. And Florida isn't dead yet. 9-1 now the score. Here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. And that brings up Tristan Basulto up to bat for Florida. First pitch, a ball. Oh, excuse me, strike. Oh, and 1 the count to Basulto. That one comes in over his head for a 1-1 count now. One count, 2 outs, runner on second. Big hack, swinging and miss. Florida down to their final strike. Tristan Basulto trying to keep this Florida team alive. This one hammered down the left field line. It's going to be trouble for the left fielder. It's going to allow a run to score. Another RBI double for Florida. 9-2 now your score. Florida staying alive. Looking to meet us back here at 9 a.m. tomorrow. That pitch sails outside. 1-0 the count now. It is now Wynn O'Berry up at the plate. This one fouled back. 1-1 the count. O'Berry, known for lining up in kind of the middle of the box in his stance, and so, but has had success so far this game. And so now 2-1 the count after he takes that ball. This ball fouled back, 2-2 again. Florida down to their final strike. One more time. 9-2, still your score. 2-2 count, 2 outs, runner on second. This ball gonna be fouled back. Florida stays alive for one more. Wynn O'Berry fighting for his squad. Doesn't want their season to be over just yet. Cody McIntyre, the on-deck man. Ball there, got to be a rundown play now. Gets over to third, and he's safe. Runner was playing with him over at second, testing. The catcher got him to throw, and so he ran. And so now, runner on third, full count. This one, he pokes over to the first baseman, and they do it. Georgia is your Division II 3A World Series champions. Dog pile in the middle of the diamond as Georgia celebrates the victory. This Georgia squad goes undefeated after their 9-2 victory in this game over Florida. An incredible game from their pitching staff, Jack Duff especially in this game. Incredible, went 5 innings, and Gav gave the ball to Hagerson there in the 6th. He gives up 2, but nonetheless they stay alive and they come away with the win. Nothing but smiles on this Georgia team's face. They come across, shake hands with the Florida squad, who come and give their dues to this Georgia team. I want to shout out all of these players on this Georgia team. Number 13, Braxton Gordon. Number 11, Kevin Jacobs. Number 21, Jack Duff. Number 53, Flint Melton. Number 9, Camden Hughes. Number 22, Blake Bass. Number 5, Gage McCorkle. Number 10, Charlie Calhoun. Number 17, Tilden Hagerson. Number 1, Jake Leitner. Number 7, Jace Rogers. And number 25, Connor Manucci. Shout out there. Coaches as well, Coach Will Gordon, Gabe Jacobs, and Lee Hughes, as they will be taking home the Division II 3A's World Series Championship. Again, congratulations to this Georgia team, and shout out to a hard-fought Florida team as well, as they will be the runner-up in this series. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Again, huge shout-out to this Georgia team. Tune in as we will have the Division II Majors World Series here in just a second at 5 o'clock between Texas and North Carolina. And so tune into that here in just a couple of hours, and we'll be right back. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you here on DYB Baseball and Texas County Game Day. Thank you, guys.